It's a little dark. Let's beep. Okay. Let's try that. A little bit better. We'll take no cars coming. Doing good. No breaking up. We got our power issue resolved. Oh yeah. Let's see. A little bit chunky there. Uh-huh. 12. Okay. Let's make sure. Let's make sure. Beep. We are in 1200 milliwatts. Okay. Let's try different things. Cars coming. Yep, there's a car coming. Come on. All right, this is a little bit better. Signal loss. Comes a car. All right, let's get up past. See if this does anything for us. Okay. Whoa. I'm doing all right. I see the car. Yep. Uh-huh. 1,500. Come on. There we go. Recording. It's when we turn around that we have the issues, right? Right here. Let's try it again. Well, we got rid of our voltage issue. So there's that. All right, white pickup truck this time. We made it. And we're doing good. Up, signal. Why is it dropping out there though? It's annoying. All right, get off, bug. These darn bugs. All right, we're gonna do a full pass back. Signal lost. Turn around slow. Uh-huh. All right, must be the antennas. Let's try to push it past the truck this time. Okay, wait. Okay, now pass. Let's try a different channel. I hear the ESC fan working. Okay, this is where we were before. Full power, here we go. The channel worked out pretty good. Let's go up again. Let's go past the white pickup truck. White pickup truck, there it is. All right, we're at the end of the street. See, it was the channel giving us issues. All right, let's hold. Check that. Okay. Nice. All right, one more pass and we're done. the street. Here's our goal. And our final pass. Nice. Hey all. Last night I took my Arma Typhon and I ran it up and down the street because the place where I was going to go run was having an event and there were all kinds of people and cars in the way. So I had to run up and down the street here, which isn't horrible because it helps us see how we are doing when we are comparing signal strength, when you know that every house on the block has Wi-Fi and all kinds of other signals coming out of it. So during the run, it's just one battery. That's all we needed. We proved that these here True RC Lollipop, I forget what version they are, but they're pretty good. They stand up against the Wi-Fi in the neighborhood, and I was able to get just as far as I was with the DJI stuff, and they worked. I just had to change a channel. That was the only thing that was going wrong. Okay, so I'm going to open this up and show you how I have this wired up in case you want to do it yourself, and go from there. It's not that complicated. If you wreck and your VTX is all up inside this, it's not going to get damaged. You might have to buy a new antenna, whatever. But it's all self-contained. That's the whole point of this, is that if you want to go bashing, you don't have to be all anxious about your camera being destroyed. Will it get hurt? Probably, if you're going to go bonkers. But let's go over this and I'll show you what I've done. Alright kids, this is not rocket science. This is what it looks like when it's all complete, okay? And the only thing I believe I could have done better is when I put the mounts for the camera right here. It's hard to do it backwards. I should have drilled them a little bit more forward so I didn't have any light coming around the ND filter there, because there's a little bit up at the top left corner. I'll probably adjust that, but that's the worst of it. Then I have nothing to worry about. Got the inlet for the fan. That is the Rocket Motor 35 millimeter 8.4 volt fan. All right. So yesterday, running around in Florida, this VTX did not overheat. I was running it at 2.7K in 60 frames per second, and we did fine. And we have proven in another video that this side here with the MIPI cable is actually cooler than the other side where the fan is cooling in this situation. So it's 10 degrees, but 10 degrees is 10 degrees, right? Okay, so on the other side of this here white double-sided tape is one voltage regulator. That voltage regulator is set to 12 volts to run the VTX. Okay, so how do we have things running? The power comes in here. 4S is what we run most of our RC cars on that have this FPV stuff on it, either this setup or the other setups. And it comes in through this Canon connector, positive and negative. One of those wires will jump over to this power switch. Down is on, up is off. Okay. And if we look on the bottom, we have another voltage regulator that's set to 8.4 volts for this fan, so we don't burn it up again. Why did I have it set that way in a couple videos ago? Well, I have found that sometimes a device will be labeled at a certain voltage, but on Amazon or on a manufacturer's page, sometimes the voltages are wrong. In this case, the voltage was right. Don't run these over 8.4 volts or 9 volts, I think is the maximum I would do it. They go plenty fast at 8.4 volts. That's where their rating is set, 22,000 RPMs. Okay, you don't need more voltage than that. Okay, so let's crack this open and I'll show you what's going on inside. Okay, so right here, this is our camera. It's mounted with just these two screws. The screws go into 2mm standoffs, which are screwed into the side of the camera. And that's all bolted to the inside of the diving case here. That's how the camera's mounted. This foam is to block out light reflections and also to give a little bit more vibration dampening to, even though it's not free floating, there can still be vibrations. You know, RC cars are notorious for vibrations. Okay, now we have the rocket motor. It is sucking air in through the front, and then it's blowing onto the non-MIPI side of the VTX, because that's the hottest side. Okay, so in here, the Canon connector, it's coming in positive and negative. On the positive side, I have the power switch. Okay, I'm daisy chaining them, so we have the voltage regulator set to 12 volts after the switch. Okay, and then it's daisy chaining to the regulator for the fan, because that's only running 8.4 volts. So because these are voltage regulators, anything you put in here up to 6S, this is always going to put out 12 volts, and this is always going to put out 8.4 volts. And that's really all there is to it. These antenna mounts, I had to do a little bit of learning about how to get the antennas to pass through, because if you just run the antennas that come with the VTX, they can get pinched and you have to cut into the plastic and it looks dumb. So I had to get these 90-degree adapters, and they are connected inside the VTX with the UFL connectors. Okay, and then these lollipop antennas, they also have a 90-degree screw-on connector, so you have your dual connectors. I just put these zip ties on there so that they're not flubbing around and looking dumb, and because sometimes no matter how tight you get these, they will move around. So this is just to stabilize the antennas. It's non-conductive. It's not going to cause any interference with the signal. So that's really it. As long as you have a power supply set up in a vehicle, your RC car, RC truck, you can take this whole unit and move it from one thing to the other and use it. You don't need 52 different video systems to do your FPV thing on your RC cars and trucks. You just move this. Okay, let me show you what I've also found is useful when powering up these FPV systems. Okay, you are looking for a stable power supply, and when you are gunning your RC car, or just like in a drone or an RC airplane, helicopter, you can get brownouts if you gun the motor too hard, and the ESC is trying to suck as much power out of the battery as possible, and this is going to suffer. So how do you do that? Well, I'm going to show you. Okay, you have this. I'm going to close that bad boy back up. This is much nicer than the GoPro version, because the GoPro version has a switch, and then you can lift it up and open it, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. So here's what I'm going to show you. We have, I forget, I got these off of Amazon. I just wired up an extension with the Canon connector on the end, because that's how I supply power to my VTX systems. And I soldered it up. It's got a capacitor on there. And what this capacitor does is it levels out the voltage for a small amount of time. It's not going to power your FPV system for an hour if you have brownouts. But if your ESC witnesses a spike or something like that, it's going to smooth it out. It'll keep sending power down the wire for, I don't know, half a second or something like that. It's measured in milliseconds, okay? I'm not an engineer. I don't know, but I know it works. So what you do is you have this thing and it's plugged into the back of your camera, and then you have this thing and you plug that in there, and there you go. Everything's working, okay? You see, VTX is working. There's the light, and that capacitor will help smooth out in the event of brownouts. That would have helped me the other day. I think I've squashed the problem and I don't need that, but I'm going to run it anyway, because steady power is better than uneven power, So that's my solution. In that situation with this FPV system here, this needed a steady voltage of its own. The VTX needed a steady voltage of its own, and to get two different voltages we had to run two different power regulators. And maybe I was just trying to be cheap and trying to do it off of one, and that's why I was running 12 volts to the fan, and that's why the fan fried itself, and that's why we had to go through the process of rewiring it with a second voltage regulator. And here we are. We finished. This is now transferable from one RC car to another. All right.